The second taping I'm going to show you is a basic ankle taping. When you do this to yourself at home, generally you'll need to do it, for example, with your foot in this type of position to make sure you get your ankle nice and straight. Or if mum and dad is doing it for you at home, then they can get you lying down like this with your foot off the end of the bed or the lounge. When we do an ankle taping, so I'm first going to show you the most basic one that I would use for trail running, for example. So when we're taping an ankle, just for example, we're going to use this taping if someone has had what we call a lateral ankle sprain, so you've just injured the tissues around the inside or the outside of your ankle. So I'm looking for this 90-degree angle here, and I don't want the foot turned in or out. I just want it to be nice and straight in line with the leg. If I divide his shank into half and then a quarter, that's where I'm going to start my anchor. So I'm going to put a little bit of brown tape, just lay it on his skin. So I'm not going to pull or push that, that's just for me to attach the other tape to. So I'm going to lay that on his skin. Then if we're really trying to protect this tissue and ligaments on the outside of his ankle, I'm going to start on the inside. I'm going to run down the inside of his ankle, round the bottom of his heel, and then up the outside. And I'm going to pull the outside relatively firm, so that should be nice and tight. What I'm looking for here is the first bit of tape should basically cover this big bony bit, and behind it we're going to do 2 to 3 bits. So we're going to go behind, on and behind, on the top of the bone, and then kind of on and in front. So this is what we do for our kind of footy players as well, or change of direction sports. So then I'm going to pull that nice and firm straight over the top of the bone, and if I just want that little bit of extra support, I'm going to do 3 bits of that. If you've got pretty good ankles and you're just looking for a bit of prevention, 2 bits is probably okay. So there are called our stirrups. I've got 2 to 3 stirrups. Then what I'm actually going to do is what will look basically to Albie like a figure P. So I start down the inside, cross that joint, and I basically kind of come back almost to where I start. So it's almost a figure P. If I'm trail running, that might be, I might just do 1 P. If I'm playing football and I've had a bad ankle or basketball and I need a bit more support, I'm going to do a Q, which is just the opposite. So I'm going to come down the outside, across that kind of ankle bone there, and then back to where I start from. The key to these 2 bits is making sure you don't come too far down in the front of his ankle, otherwise it will start to rip your skin, and making sure all the tape comes around the bottom of your heel. So we're starting to get a nice little bit of a lock into the ankle joint here. Then I'm going to come around the outside and I'm going to do what we call a heel lock. So I'm basically going to start across the inside of my ankle joint, just below that bone. I'm going to come around the heel, so it's like I'm just putting a little bit of a lock around the heel, and then straight up, back up the inside. So again, what I'm doing is I'm helping hold the heel from going too far that way. And then I'm going to do one the other way. So I wouldn't worry too much about this one in most cases, unless you've had a bad sprain and your physio advises this one, but I would certainly look at doing one on the other side. It's the bottom of this bone where these ankle ligaments are going to be injured. I'm going to put a bit of support there. I'm going to come around under the bottom of the heel, and then I'm going to come back up and through again. So again, what I'm doing is I'm creating a nice little lock for that heel. You want to just lock off the top of all this tape. Try not to leave too many bits of skin showing anywhere. If I wanted to add a little bit more of that, hold your foot up again please, then I'm just going to do a figure of 8, which will basically come down across the ankle, underneath, up over the top, and basically back kind of round to where I start. So it looks like a figure 8. So that'll just give it a little bit of extra lock off for if I'm playing my footy or my basketball. And the one final component I might think about if my physio advises is what we call a kind of a 4 or mid-foot lock. And that's basically just giving me that extra little bit of support around that front of my foot. And as you can see, there's not too many bits of tape showing anywhere. To know whether you've got the tape right or not, if Albie can stand up for me please. He's quite restricted in this one compared to where this one will go. So when he tries to push that one further, it's locked off. So that tells me that I've done a good job at stopping that ankle from rolling either direction. Thank you.